Hi friends, in today's story we meet two girls that find a mysterious house. What happens next? Let's find out. Welcome to Uncle DJ's Bedtime Stories. So what do we do on Uncle DJ's Bedtime Stories? Well, I'm going to tell you a bedtime story, then at the end of the story we're going to play a game. We're going to play a game that we like to call the Recap Mishap! So in order to play the game, you got to pay attention to the whole story. Otherwise, you can't play the game. Today's story is called The Secret of Meeuws Mansion. Are you ready? Let's go. Well, my name is Uncle DJ, and this is Mr. Kitty. Mr. Kitty! You're here again! Hey, Mr. Kitty. It's Mr. Kitty! Look! Hey, he made it! We're so glad that you could be here and join us today, Mr. Kitty. We've missed you. Where have you been? Oh, you're checking out my suitcase? All right. Thanks for that. Now there's another game we also play on Uncle DJ's Bedtime Stories, and that game is during my story, when you're seeing the drawings, there are hidden pictures of Mr. Kitty. I hide Mr. Kitty throughout the stories, and he will look just like this. This gray kitty is Mr. Kitty, and he's hidden throughout the stories. Sometimes he's in a picture, sometimes he's climbing here, maybe in a tree or on a building. Let's see how many times you can find Mr. Kitty in a story. Are you ready? Let's go. So today's story is about two girls, and their names are Sage and Save. Sage. Yeah, that's what I said. And Save. Yep, Save too. Again, I think you're telling stories about people that you know. What's your point? Ticket taker. If there's one thing that Sage and Save love to do, and that is crafting. Crafts. Making crafts, making cards, making greeting cards, happy birthday cards, get well cards, thank you cards. They really like to do that and share those with other people. Do you like to do crafts? I like to do crafts. Let's look in my craft bag and see what I have. To make a card, we need to draw on something. What do you think we need to draw on? That's right, we're going to need some paper. And this, here's our paper. Do you know what color this is? That's right, this is blue. This is my favorite color. I really like blue. Blue paper. Now, next thing that we're going to need, what do you think? We need something to draw on there. What do you think we're going to draw with? That's right, crayons or markers. I'm spilling the crayons already. These are some of my favorite markers. These are really cool. I love how you turn this and then it goes up like that. That's so cool. That's great. No sharpening required. Again, I don't get paid by the Crayola people. I don't get a kickback by the Crayola people. They're not paying me to do this. I just like the Crayola stuff. But again, if you work for Crayola and you're watching this, call me. Thank you. Okay, so Mr. Kitty is overeating my breakfast. He's got his face in my bowl and he's walking around on the desk. Now we need something to cut the paper. What do you think we're going to use to cut the paper? That's right, we're going to need scissors. That's right, scissors. Cut the paper. Place the scissors very nicely over here. Okay. And when we are going to stick two pieces. We're going to stick two pieces of paper together. What do you think we would use? Yeah, that's right. We would use tape or glue. And I have my glue. I have my glue here. Yay. Now, this, if you want to make designs, this is a punch. This punch has a star on it. Let's see what it can do. Cool. It's making little stars in the paper. It punches out the little stars. You can use these, glue this on another piece of paper. So cool. Punch up, 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 punch. That's almost as fun to say as ticket taker. So Mr. Kitty is, now he's stepping in my bowl. Is it Mr. Kitty? There's one item left. Can you guess what our last item is? It is a, wait a minute, what is this? I have no idea what this is. Yeah, Sage. Just looking through the bag here, just looking through the craft bag here, and I came across this one item. I have no idea what this, it looks like a spatula. Like what does this thing do? Oh, okay, thank you, bye. Sorry, Mr. Kitty. It's just another day. Sage and Save are making crafts, and Mom comes into the room and she says, well, girls, I have an announcement to make. And she says, I'm sorry to say, but we're gonna have to move. And the girls took it really well. No! What? Move? Why do we have to move? Are you kidding me? What about our family? Our friends? My school? Everything we know is here, but now we have to move. Oh man, I don't want to move. Are you kidding me? And so it was just like so sad. So they talked about it, they cried about it, and it's like, I'm really sorry. It's not, Mom says, it's not my first choice either, but it's something, unfortunately, it's something that we have to do. And so, a few crying, packing our bags moments later. When you have to move from one place to another, pack all your stuff and then unpack it, just takes a long time. Well, it takes a long time except for Sage, because Sage was like, yep, I'm done. So they're in their new place and they're unpacked and they're just getting used to their new surroundings. And so it's the weekend. Mom says, it's a really nice day. Why don't we go down to the park and have a picnic? So they packed up a lunch and went down to the park. And at that moment at the park, there were other parents there and other kids. The kids were playing soccer and they were having a birthday party. There were lots of kids there. In fact, you may recognize some of them. Let's see if you can recognize who's playing soccer. Well, look, I can see Milo. I can see Ollie. I can see Lucy. There's Trina, and that looks like Leah. Yes, we know all these kids. This is where Sage and Save moved to. They moved to the neighborhood where all these kids are already living, who we know, and Brenna and Matea are there as well. And they said, why don't you come play soccer with us? And they did. In fact, Taya says, you have the same dress that I do. I love your dress. Yay! They had such a wonderful afternoon when all of a sudden there was a really loud, yeah, just like that. Sage and Save said, what was that noise? And the kids say, Meeuws Mansion. Yeah, that's Meeuws Mansion. It's an abandoned house. We don't know what's going on in there. Nobody lives there. And Sage says, well, if it's abandoned, why is that blue truck pulling into the driveway? And all the kids looked. What? There was a blue truck coming down the street just turning into the driveway. It drove through the tall grass and around behind the house and it parked there. And someone got out and started walking towards the back door. The kids looked at each other and said, what? And they started running over to the fence there to look. And this person goes in the back door into Meeuws Mansion. Well, the kids look at each other and they go, wow, what's going on here? And Sage and Save say, I don't know. but we're gonna find out. So then, you know what they did? Are you kidding me? I'm not kidding. We gotta know what's going on there. Ticket taker, puncha puncha. We're gonna have to find out what happens next time. But until then, I wanna ask you, how is it with you, friends? Have you ever had to move to a different city or a different place and leave behind your friends and your family and your school and just everything that you knew? Sometimes moving is really hard. It doesn't matter if you're young or you're old. I don't like to move either. One time I had a friend move away on me and I really miss him. And I still miss him today. It's okay to miss people. So we just call each other and talk once in a while and see how he's doing over the phone or through video call. It's not easy, is it? Yeah, it's not easy. And it may sound simple to say, well, you're gonna meet some new people and it's gonna be really exciting. And so you could turn this into a new adventure. Yeah, you could do that. And it's probably going to happen. You're gonna meet new people and they're gonna be pretty cool as well. But it's okay if part of you is still sad that you're leaving others behind. That's okay. But things will get better. Trust me. And so, that's the end of our story. That's the end of the story? That's the end of the story. Well then, you know what time it is, right? It's time to call the person that we miss right after we're done with. Let's all say it together. It's time for the recap mishap. What happens on the recap mishap? Well, let me tell you what happens on the recap mishap. I'm gonna retell the story. I'm gonna recap the story. But when I do, I'm gonna make 5 mistakes. How many mistakes am I gonna make? That's right, 5 mistakes. Some of them are gonna be easy. Some of them are gonna be more difficult. Let's see if you can find all 5 mistakes. Are you ready? Let's go. Today's story was about 2 girls named Brenna and Matea. And one day, Mom came into the room where they were crafting and she said, I'm sorry girls, I hate to break the news to you, but we have to move. And so they moved from where they were to another place. And so the girls were really sad that they had to move and leave behind their family, their friends, their school, everything that they knew about that place they had to leave behind. They were really sad, but they had to move. And so they get to the new place of where they are and they unpack. Mom says, let's go have a picnic. And so they went down the street to the park to have a picnic. And guess what? There were some other people there already having a party. They were having a graduation party. And these are people that we already know. There was Milo, there was Trina, Lucy, Ollie, Brenna, Matea, and Leah. They were all there. And so Sage and Save got to hang out with them and start to get to know them. And then, all of a sudden, there was a really loud, yeah, just like that. And so Sage says, what was that? That's Meeuws Mansion. It's an abandoned old house, and nobody lives there anymore. And Sage says, oh yeah? Well then, why is that blue car pulling into the driveway? And all the kids look, and yeah, a blue car pulled into the driveway, drove through the tall grass, went around to the back of the house. So all the kids went running over to the fence to look and see what's going on. But as they ran, Sage twisted her ankle and it hurt. She fell down and she, my ankle. And it hurt really bad. She rubbed it for a minute and it felt better. She'd only twisted it. So all the kids get to the fence and they look over and they see, yes, exactly. They see someone get out of their vehicle and walk through the backyard and go in through the back door. And that is the end of the recap. Did you catch the 5 mistakes that I made? Good luck in finding them. Thanks so much for watching Uncle DJ's Bedtime Stories. Really glad we could hang out today. And today, I'd like to say goodnight to Trina, Nalita, and Keenan. Good night, Trina. Good night, Nalita. Good night, Keenan. Thank you so much for watching. Or is it Trina and Keena? I don't know. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. Like, like, subscribe, sub, ticket taker, puncha. Does anyone want to come and help me clean up this mess? Could be Uncle DJ's messy time stories. And so, that's it for another episode. Uncle DJ's Bedtime Story. From Mr. Kitty and I, we say, bye everyone.